Hey, welcome everyone. This is a stream where I'm assembling the camera slider. You can see the camera slider down there in the right side of the right third of the window. The left quarter of the window is the banner. That's the banner. It's the F3D PCH banner. So give me a moment here so I can share this out. Thanks for joining. We'll start in a moment. I just gotta tweet this out. All right, thanks. One last tweet here. Oh yeah, need to grab this screenshot here. All right, so welcome everyone. This is a live stream on assembly of the camera slider. Thanks John Mac for joining. Hey, Scala YouTube, thank you for joining. Matt, how many keyboards you go through in a year? I do type pretty fast. Let's see here, let's close that window. All right, so this is a camera slider. What happens is this will slide up and down, controlled by a stepper motor. And what I have to do is attach a stepper motor on that side. And let me take this one apart. Bunch of wires all over. Hey Matt, we're having tacos later if you want to come over. Alright, so I got the stepper motor, now I need a screwdriver. Alright, so this I need a Not a screwdriver, but an Allen. Size maybe. Negative. Alright, so this one wasn't printed correctly. There was a little bit of a distance problem. So I'm taking this stepper motor off of this one and transfer it to these black ones that I printed. So everybody in the 3D printing community knows what a stepper motor is, but outside of that, a stepper motor is a motor that essentially can be indexed to a specific position by sending pulses to the different wires. So this one is a bipolar stepper motor, meaning that there's two poles, and depending upon the order of the pulses you send, and even the pattern of the pulse that you send, you can index the motor to turn like a degree, or if you microstep, the pattern I was talking about. If you microstep, you can make it turn less than a degree, but then you lose torque. So this is going to get attached to the end. It's going to replace this green piece here. And this was 3D printed. I designed it in Fusion 360. I have participated in some of the live streams. I designed this. Take a look at Chad in a moment. Make sure this is torqued down enough, and then I'll do the same thing to the other side. I'm only going to have one motor hooked up in the beginning, electrically. Alright, this guy I gotta take off, so I'm using my mallet. I got a rubber mallet here. This thing is really heavy. So it's being designed for use in film. I've taken into account the size of camera equipment. That was Matt. Awesome, yeah. I don't know. Give me a time. Should slide on minimal effort. Okay, we're connected there. That's good. Exactly what we wanted. Alright, then we'll come down to this one here, which this is a forward camera angle. So I apologize for that. I do have to find some screws. Alright, so we need some M3s, and I'm going with 16 millimeters, and I think I need a nut on here. Hey, 3D Print Creator. Now, 40 by 80. I went way overkill on this. Way overkill. It's insane. I was not aware of how heavy they were. I think the whole assembly might be 100 pounds, which is ridiculous. But there's no deflection, or minimal deflection. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it is huge. I tend to go way overboard. Just a really bad part of my personality. I mean, it's good in some aspects, but then bad in others. Like the practicality of using this. I mean, look at the setup. I got 2 sawhorses in here. It's really not practical for setting up just for a quick shot. So I have to definitely make a smaller version. So I will go with a smaller gauge, like maybe 20 series. Do they have 30 series? Or is it just 10, 20, and 40? I forget what 80-20. This is from 80-20 net. So thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Hey, Martin. So I'm just hooking up the camera slider. I already hooked up the stepper motor down that side. Now I'm hooking up the one down here. I had to add nuts to this as a form of a spacer. One key. And then the next thing is assembly of the timing belt. And then we'll be able to give this a test run to see if we can make the slider work. I may have to add some shims, probably by way of just adding a couple business cards on the outside, because I think when the extruded aluminum was pushed together, it really allowed for a very smooth transition. Alright, so next thing. So this is the one piece I designed in the one live stream. Let's see what happens if I push this together. Yep. So that moves very easily when I push these together. So is it lined up? It looks like it's lined up well. I might have to flip this guy around. But, okay, so this is the linear bearing. And this is the piece I designed. So the ribbon cable is going to attach to this. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. I want to have this. I'd love to have this mounted on the ceiling, and then give it commands to allow the camera to move around. One of the other things I want to do is consider, and I don't know the capabilities of if this then that, but you might be able to send chat commands and make the camera move so the audience could control it. So, you know, if somebody donates money or something, they can control the camera. Alright, so this guy, I need the timing belt now. So if you don't know what a timing belt is, let's see which camera. This one. So we can get this. So that's a timing belt. And it fits into the grooves of this pulley. Having a tough time unraveling this. This is 10 meters I got. awesome. I probably don't need to screw that all the way. So this, let's see, is this in the shot? Yes, it is. Alright, so the way I designed this was that it acts as a wraparound and will allow me to have the belt secure itself, act like a clamp. There you go, so that's the one side. Now I just need to do the same thing on the other side. And so I'll start by cutting this down. I need to snip it someplace. And I'll leave a little bit of slack just in case I make a mistake. Maybe, oh, there's a bunch of slack in it, so let's take the slack out. And I'll cut it right here for now. Alright, we did it. It's cut. Square. We're good there. Okay. And then see, this other part is going to follow in this groove. That's the idea here. So let me see if I can. Yep, so it looks like it's going to work. Alright, so let's attach this guy. So I'm going to come this way, round, come on. I might be able to get this at this angle. Be awesome if this works. Up on me. Alright, a little bit of slack, probably need to tighten up a little bit better. Looks like it's going to work. Alright, I just needed another bolt. I forget where I put them. I'm looking. There we go. So these are M8 bolts from hanging a TV, so I didn't have to go out and buy any, which was good. Dude, this looks like it's going to work. Looks like it's lined up well too. So everything I did in so this extra slack is going to be a problem. So let's see if we can stuff it in here. Alright, let's hook up the stepper motor. So I got this hooked up to a ramps board. And then I'll reset power here. And I'm going to connect up the yeah, thanks Martin. I didn't think about carbon fiber and impregnated belts. You have a link to one you can paste in here. Alright, so let's bring up, I'll switch the screen in a moment. I just want to get a VNC up and running. Alright, no connection. Gotta reboot it again. There we go. Alright, so now let me switch up. What did Matt say? Yeah, that's fine, Matt. If you're still in here. Let's see if Matt is still in here. Matt is not in here. Alright. Alright, let me switch my monitor mode. We want this guy maybe? But I do have to switch. I gotta add the camera to this view. So let's add video capture device 920. And we'll put that right about here. Oh yeah, we're getting brownies. So now I just got to remember that that's in the way when I do that. Oh good, okay, so we're cool. Alright, let's make it a little bit smaller so I can see chat. Alright, let's open up programming, Python 3. Open up our serial test. And let's move this to the middle so I can stop it. Hopefully it's not too much friction to make the stepper motor stop. Okay, so that worked. That's cool. Alright, it's going that way, so let's now I can't move it. So I gotta let's move it back. So that was 37. So it's coming out this guy. And it might be, Martin. Or Alaska. I know Alaska looks a lot like those photos you were sending. Let's see, we do this, and we'll go backwards. Can I go negative? Only if There was one that was relative. G1 is relative. Okay, so I think I can do negative 1000. Or not. Alright, it won't let me go below that value. So let's turn off stepper motor. Full power. What is that? Something getting hung up. You hear that? I wonder if that's the Alright, that's really tight there. I think I gotta wedge some business cards in here. So let me throw in an earth card. Another earth card. By the way, here's earth. So make sure you mark that on your calendars, the end of June. We'll do it this way. Throw in a couple more cards on this side. I don't know what that sound is. Alright, let's hey, I got this camera slider working. Nolan, thanks for joining in. Let's run this again. So I had to dabble in some Arduino code. Oh, it's still not going to go backwards. I got to change the G code. So we'll make it go 1000. And then I'll make it go backwards. Negative 1000. Oh, you know what? I got to hook up the stepper motor. Duh. Let's let this guy go. Let's hit the reset button. And we'll plug in power. Feels smooth. Looks like it's working. The end stops I have to add, and the way I'm going to add it, I already tested the end stops. Theoretically, not physically on the device because I don't have them mounted yet. But I verified that the one end stop, at least, that when it hits, it makes it stop. I want to see if I can set up for both end stops, both X min and X max. I don't know if that's possible. If it is, let me know. It looks like it's possible. And that way, if it reaches too far in either direction, it'll stop it, right? But I also want to use the bottom end stop for the homing to know. And I don't know if I can use both end stops for homing, because maybe I can use it to find the lower end and then find the upper end and know that that's the boundary that it has to stay within. That would be cool if that's what I can do. Alright, so now it's going back the other way. Alright, now let's see if we can increase the feed rate. So let's go with 5,000, and that's really loud, by the way. Yeah, buddy, it's working. Except I think I might have to hit the reset button. Oh, there we go. I did it just in time. Maybe you have to tighten the belt a little bit. Oh, this is cool. Alright, yeah, I'm really pleased with the progress here. Really? I did not know that. That's cool to know. Alright, yeah, I'm just learning. So I'm a software engineer, right? But I don't know anything about the Marlin. I shouldn't say that now. I dug in a little bit into the Marlin as far as setting up the parameters. And I wanted to figure out how the end stops worked. Oh, I wanted to figure out how the microstepping worked because I got the BQ board, BIQU. And I couldn't figure out how to get microstepping to work. Hey, Noah Joshua. Hey, congrats. That's a big number there. All right, what else can we do? Let's see if we can slow it down to 100. And we'll only go, let's only go 100. It's moving, but there's a lot of, you can see it in the belt. So I think I got to gear this down. So that'll be like a Rev 2 to get that motion in place. Because they would want this to go very slow. You know, maybe 5 hours over 8 feet, right? I mean, you could argue for going 24 hours to capture an entire day. You know, even at an angle. You know, going up real slow. You can see the belt wobbling. So if I gear this down, let's say I went if I went 20 to 1, it would be good. All right, that's good. So I'm pleased with this. Just need to do a little bit more of tweaking this and setting up oh, okay. Yeah, changing the speed. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe printing the gears. Also thinking about using belts with because I already have one here. Let's see, which one is it? Yeah, it's this one here. This is I think this is a 5 times reduction, or or maybe more. So we got that there with the belt, right? So yeah, I'll have to play with that some, but that's not going to be in this revision. I just wanted to get this up and running for Murph, so that I can at least have something to demonstrate that, hey, this is my project that I'm working on for the prototype. Alright, so I need to learn more about the limit switch, because I do have the limit switch working, but for the low end, I need to set up the homing speed. Oh, okay. So, now let's see. So that was like real slow, what I was doing. I don't know if I can go any slower than that. That was at 100. Let's see if I can go 50. And then we'll change this to go 50. Yeah, it's definitely turning. And I gotta make the belt tighter. Just by a little bit. So if I were to do, and then the other thing I want to do in a later revision is be able to pick a point in front of you, in front of it, and have it keep eyes on that target. So let's say we pick the point in the middle of the slider, 5 feet in front, and it'll automatically calculate the angle at which the camera needs to point to keep it pointed at that object all the way around from the one point to the other. So just have to use some arctangent calculations there along the way to figure out, and you could pick the point all the way on the left side or all the way on the right side, and it'll automatically figure that out, the focal point, and it'll know how to point the camera. Another revision later, I wanted to automatically change the zooming and maybe even change the focus. So yeah, so the pivot as it moves, yeah, that's right. So that's like a later revision. So this thing's going to go through a lot of evolutions before I'm ready. But I'm definitely pleased with the way it's operating now. Let me see if I can get it to go faster. I don't know if 10,000 is practical. It might cap out at 3,000. I forget what the firmware is set to. Let's go 1,000 again. So I was missing steps there. Definitely missing steps. So that's too fast. All right, so I'm gonna end the stream. on that note, this was a good progress. Oh, it's gonna crash. I had to reset it. It was gonna crash. Let's do it one last time. Yeah, thanks for joining in. So this was a success. A success. Come on, flip. There we go. Yeah, we're good. So there's a limit in which you would want to run this. Yeah, definitely cool. So thanks for joining in, everyone. Later. Yep. All right. See you guys there.